2 more minutes, guys, and then we'll start at 16:05. We are waiting for others to join. Meanwhile, किसी के पास कुछ questions है तो बताओ for previous sessions or whatever we have covered or what we are going to cover. Any questions, anything? So let me know. We'll start in a minute. Okay, guys, let's start. So yesterday we have one more. Okay, so yesterday we discussed a few things about Active Directory. We revised, which we already discussed in our first session. Domain controllers को हम लोगों ने देखा. Then we saw I give accesses. I gave accesses to few people who requested on Azure portal. I hope they try to log in. Did you guys try to log in?
Yes, sir. But yeah.
And were you able to?
Yeah, I was able to log in.
And what did you see? Which is Abrar Bhai, right? Abrar, you are under Ishaq Bhai's subscription. So what did you see? Were you able to see anything, or were you able
No,
to
sir,
create
but
anything? Did you try creating anything?
no, I just got a blank page where as my apps when I accepted the invite.
Okay, fine. Today I will explain the portal, and let's see if we can start VNet. We'll do that also. Just waiting for this guy to join. Okay, let's start then. Guys, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Sorry,
Yes,
there
sir.
was some issue. I got a message from someone, they're not able to hear, and though it was on unmute, they weren't able to hear. I had to change my mic, right? Sorry about this. So let's start quickly. I was talking about the resource group and everything to people who have got accesses. Hope they logged in, two of you confirmed. So I will quickly explain that how it works and what you should be looking for, and then we'll proceed with it. Let me open MS Paint. So we have discussed Active Directory now plenty of times on Azure Active Directory also, and our on-premises Active Directory also. So when we are talking about Active Directory and subscriptions in resource group, let me explain it to you what are the differences. Then it will be easier for you to understand. So this outer line which I am drawing, this is our Active Directory, let's say. It is our Azure Active Directory. Okay. Now I am not talking about the on-premises Active Directory. We will, whenever I say Active Directory, here I mean Azure Active Directory. So I'll try to keep it the same term, Azure Active Directory. But even if I miss saying that, I am talking about Azure Active Directory. So this is Azure Active Directory. Now, what is Azure Active Directory? Azure Active Directory, it is just a method to have your user IDs in cloud. Just to give you some access. Just because you are in Azure Active Directory, you are in Active Directory, that does not mean you will have access on subscription. So now let me explain what is subscription. This green line which I'm drawing, it is representing subscriptions. So this is subscription or subscriptions. We could have both. As of now, we'll just stick to one single subscription. And this orange line, it is representing resource groups. We could have multiple resource group in one subscription. We could have multiple subscriptions and multiple resource groups. So these are our resource groups. Most of the time we will call it as RG. That is acronym we use. So it's resource group. And within resource group, we will have our resources. And when I say resources, sorry. When I say resources, it could be your virtual machine, your storage, your web app, anything and everything. I mean, we have already discussed what are resources available, right? So those are resources. Is it clear, guys? Is this diagram clear till here? इसमें hierarchy वगैरह भी मैं explain कर रहा हूँ, but is it clear यहाँ तक कि resource group वगैरह क्या है, कैसे है?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So consider this Azure Active Directory as a parallel. ठीक है? Just because you are or as an entry point, just because you get an entry point in Azure Active Directory, that does not mean you get access to your subscription. Okay, let's try doing that. First, I will explain this, and then we'll do that on portal. Just give me a minute, guys. Someone has any question? Fine. So Active Directory, what is it here? If I create an account on Azure, like you guys have created without subscription, who has that account without subscription? I think one of you created, right? Or in fact, many of you created without subscription. So how do you see that without subscription? आप लोगों को कैसे दिखता है? वहां पर कोई subscription दिखता नहीं है. You just can log in and that's it. You cannot create anything, right? So that is how it looks without subscription. So let me first create a user, and I will not give any access to subscription, and I'll show it to you guys. This is my account. Okay, this is my account on Azure Tsoft Info Solution. This is also known as tenant or Azure Active Directory or my company, whatever I want to call it. Okay, so this is it. This is my company. Its name is tsoftinfosolutions.online. If I do not have a domain, a custom domain, Microsoft खुद से कुछ भी नाम दे देगा मुझको, जैसे वो it will use my email address and @microsoft.com ऐसे कुछ नाम दे देगा. You guys can check yours. आप लोगों को वो दिख जाएगा. Sorry. Here I can have my users. So these many users I have. Okay. Let me create one user and I'll show it to you guys कि without subscription अगर मैं किसी user को बनाता हूँ, so how will it look, and you will understand what is Azure Active Directory. So I'm creating a user here. Oh, by the way, I sent invitation to few of you. Did you guys were you guys able to complete that invitation? I think that was to Sumaya.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it shows here you were able to do it, right? Okay, so my users, I am creating a new user here. Sorry, let's call it admin user 001, just for a practice. Okay, so this is our user. This is the temporary password. And I am creating this user as of now. User has been created successfully. Now I will try to log in with that user. And I'm using incognito mode. I'm sure all of you understand why are we using this, right? Because actual browser पे मेरा खुद का logged in है already. And if I use same browser, तो वो वहीं से मेरा user ID and password pick कर लेगा और practical हम अच्छे से नहीं कर पाएंगे. So how do I log in, guys? Where do I have to go to log in? I'm the first time user. How do I log in? Sorry. Yes, guys. Anyone who could tell me?
Azure portal, right? Azure portal.
Right. Azure portal. I'll type Azure portal login. Sign in because I already have a user ID and password now. What is my user ID? It is admin user 1. But is it sufficient? Only typing admin user 1, is it sufficient? I'll have to give the
No, the
complete
domain
user.
has to be
Exactly. I'll have to give my complete domain name, which is tsoftinfosolution.com. Let me show it to you. This is my complete username. So again, I will go to my incognito mode window. Guys, are you getting it? Anyone who is not understanding it, why am I using these two windows? What are we trying to do? What did we discuss till now? Before I proceed, anyone has any question? Anyone want me to repeat? So I presume you guys are understanding it. Still, if you have any questions, let me know. I click next. I'll have to type in my password. This is my password. I type my password. I click on sign in. It will ask me to change the password. So here it is. Now I am a new user. I was able to log in and it's done. I'm logged into tsoftinfosolution.com. Just because I am a user on Azure Active Directory, that does not give me access on subscription. This is very important point, guys. Understand. इसके बाद subscription, resource group and resources. These are interlinked. But Active Directory and subscription, these are not interlinked. Active Directory, it is just a method to have you as a user over there, and out of those users I could give accesses to them on subscription or resource group on resources wherever I want. So that is the reason I'm showing it to you as a practical. See, I created one user, but I did not give any access on any of the subscription. So I'm able to log in. But if I go here and try to create a virtual machine, I won't be able to. Why? It says that you do not have any subscription with you. If I search for virtual machines, in my subscription, I do have some virtual machines, right? If you want, I can show it to you here. See, this is with my ID. So I have one virtual machine. But the same thing, when I try to search here, I will not be able to see anything. Why? Because all resources, including virtual machine and everything, resources जो कुछ है वो subscription के अंडर बनते हैं. And here I just have access to Tsoft Info Solution Active Directory to Azure portal. I am able to log in here. I am in here, but I do not have any access to any of the subscriptions. So I am just stuck in this area as of now, no matter what level of access I have. Is it clear?
Sohail bhai, one question I have.
Yes,
But in order to give access to subscription, a user must be added to the Active Directory, right?
exactly. That is the reason I have created in this pattern. That
Cool.
this is the first layer. You will have to be here. Unless you are a user here, sorry, unless you are a user here, you won't be able to use that user to give access to any of your subscription or resource group or resources. So yes, you have to be here in this Azure Active Directory. Clear?
Yes, Sohail bhai. Yes.
Okay. Right, incognito mode is nothing. There's a question, offline question I have got. Incognito mode is nothing. It just gives you a separate browser. Now if I try to log in from here, अगर अभी आपको मुझको बताना होगा इस नए यूजर से लॉगिन करने के लिए, if I do it same on this, let me show it to you. I'll show. Let's say if I type here Azure login, Azure portal login, and if I go to that link, वो ऑटोमेटिकली लॉगिन ले लेगा मेरा, जहां पर दूसरे ये जो यूज कर रहा हूं मैं, IDs यूज कर रहा हूँ, उसका ऑटोमेटिक लॉगिन ले लेगा most of the time, you see. And either I'll have to remove this, at least it gave me this option this time to log in. Otherwise वो इसी लॉगिन को पिक कर लेता है, यूजर आईडी और पासवर्ड सेव होता है, इसी लॉगिन को पिक कर लेता है. So if I want a fresh instance, a fresh page जहाँ पे कोई पासवर्ड वगैरह लॉग्ड इन ना हो, सेव ना हो, hence I'm using incognito mode. और incognito mode में वो कोई चीजें सेव नहीं रखता है. That's all. It is nothing but a browser's feature. But no, it does not block firewall फिर भी apply होते हैं. It just gives you a fresh browser page. That's all. No, it has nothing to do with Azure. Let's say you're using YouTube यहाँ पर, और YouTube में आपको आपका history और उसी के base पे कुछ बता रहा है, and you want to search something new, a fresh search, you could open incognito mode and you can type YouTube here. वो भी आप कर सकते हो. It has nothing to do with Azure. ये एक Chrome का feature है. Okay, so right, we are logged into Azure Active Directory, but I do not have any subscription as of now. So I won't be able to see any resources. But what I will be able to see is Azure Active Directory. That too, depending on the level of access I have. You see, I am able to see admin user, this name admin user. Admin user is able to see all the details के इसमें users कौन से है, क्या है, is able to see everything. but no virtual machines, nothing, no resources. So are you guys getting it? These are two different things. Though they are in Azure, but subscription एक अलग चीज है completely, and Azure Active Directory एक अलग चीज है completely. Yes, anyone has any question? But you need to be in Azure Active Directory so we can assign any role or anything to you on this subscription or any of the subscriptions. You could have multiple subscriptions also. Is it clear, guys? I'm going very slow today because बहुत ज़्यादा important
Yes, clear
topic है. If you
itself.
do not understand this, आगे बहुत सारी चीजें नहीं समझ में आएगी. Okay. So before I move to subscription level, now let me explain few roles here. Azure Active Directory पे ही. अभी तक I am not at all talking about subscription. Okay, I'm only sticking to Azure Active Directory for today. Like we saw Active Directory over there, we have Active Directory here. Now this user, admin user, this user doesn't have an option to create a new user. Or let's say someone says ABC user calls and says, or this user calls and says that I am unable to log in. Could you reset my password? So let's see. This user is not able to reset the password. Why? Doesn't have sufficient access. Or let's say a new user is there and your manager want you to create a new user. You are not able to do it. This admin user is not. Why? Access नहीं है. Password reset नहीं कर सकते. नया user नहीं बना सकते. किसी को delete करना है. They can't do it. Let's try deleting one user. See, delete जो है. किसी का session revoke करना है. They can't do it. Reset का भी option है यहाँ पर, but they can't do it. तो इसमें कौन कौन से एक्सेस आते हैं? फर्स्ट let's see that and then we will go for subscriptions. So here we are just talking about Azure Active Directory के accesses. Do not get confused. I'm repeating it many times. Do not get confused. तो ये आप लोगों का काम नहीं होगा. Active Directory के लिए एक स्पेशल टीम होती है, and then user ID बनाना, delete वगैरह करना किसका काम होता है? We did discuss this at the beginning जब हम लोग infrastructure discuss कर रहे थे. Which team will take care of all these things?
Service decks.
Exactly. So you won't have to do this, but you should understand the concept. इसलिए मैं इसको इतना डिटेल में एक्सेप्ट कर रहा हूँ, इसको एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ इतने डिटेल में. ठीक है. सो देयर विल बी अ सर्विस डेस्क टीम जिसका ये सब काम होगा, अकाउंट बनाना, डिलीट करना, पासवर्ड वगैरह रीसेट करना. बट you should understand this well. So here I'm talking about Active Directory के roles, or maybe here because subscription के ज़्यादा हो गए. So here we are discussing Active Directory roles. आप उसको roles बोलो, access बोलो, किसी भी तरह से. And then this we are again talking about Azure Active Directory, not on-premises Active Directory. So there are plenty of roles. We will discuss few of them. उससे आप लोगों को अंडरस्टैंडिंग आ जाएगी. बाकी आप खुद से पढ़ सकते हो अगर आप लोगों को पढ़ना हो तो. So again I went to my main account because यहीं पर मेरे सारे एक्सेस है, यहीं से मैं किसी को एक्सेस दे सकता हूँ. I'll go to Azure Active Directory. I'll go to users, and this new user, admin user, which I created, this one, I thought इसको हम service desk का role देने वाले हैं. So I am assigning a role. Here it is, assign a role. You don't need to remember this कि ये कहाँ से roles मैं assign कर रहा हूँ. This we will see. थोड़ी देर में अपने आप ही सीख जाओगे आप. But you should be able to understand this, or you should have the clear understanding of this. Active Directory के roles अलग है and subscription के roles अलग है. So how many roles do we have in Active Directory? These many. Obviously we are not reading all of them. इसमें कुछ crucial roles है that I will explain to you guys. One is global administrator. Now what a global administrator can do, it can manage all aspects of Azure Active Directory. See, it clearly says Azure Active Directory and services which are related to Azure identities and Active Directory. This does not mean कि ये global admin है यहाँ पर कोई So he will be able to create or delete a virtual machine. If I create this, if I make this user admin user a global administrator, still he doesn't have any access on this subscription level. Is it clear, guys? So we have global administrator. What it does is it has complete access. So I will not be writing everything here. ये because आप लोग वहां पर जाकर देख सकते हो. Then we have global reader. It has complete access but only read only. इसमें कोई और changes नहीं कर सकता वो. Only read only access होगा वहां पर. ठीक है. Next role we have in Azure Active Directory is, if this finishes, we will continue without taking any break. So next we have ये सब भी है. मैं कुछ इसमें से बस कुछ जो मेजर यूज होते हैं वो बता रहा हूँ आपको. बाकी यू कैन गो हियर एंड यू कैन चेक कौन कौन से रोल्स है और किस किस में क्या क्या एक्सेस मिलते हैं. बट ऑल दीज एक्सेसेस आर रिलेटेड टू Azure Active Directory only. It is still not going till subscription. यहाँ पर आप सारे एक्सेस भी दे दो किसी को, it is still not impacting subscription. I hope you guys are getting it. If not, let me know. Okay, see here I have help desk administrator can reset password for non-admin. Service desk वाले कभी भी जो उनके विंडोज एडमिन, लिनक्स एडमिन और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर वाले जो होते हैं ना L4 गाइस, उनके पासवर्ड्स नहीं रीसेट कर सकते. व्हाई? बिकॉज दोस गाइस ऑलरेडी हैव दैट एक्सेस. उन्होंने तो एडी बनाया है. सो हेल्प डेस्क एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर जो है सबके आईडीज वगैरह रीसेट कर सकता है इनके अलावा. सो लेट्स से आई एम गिविंग दिस गाय दिस एडमिन यूजर एक्सेस एज हेल्प डेस्क एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर. ये हुआ आपका सर्विस डेस्क वाला रोल. ठीक है, लेट मी सी एक और डिस्कस करते हैं एंड आई होप देन दिस शुड बी सफिशिएंट फॉर यू. ऑथेंटिकेशन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर इज देयर. वो क्या करता है यहाँ पर यू कैन रीड. Azure AD join device local administrator. मैं जो एक्सप्लेन कर रहा था कि आप कंप्यूटर्स ज्वाइन कर सकते हो आपके डोमेन को. सो इफ यू वांट टू गिव दिस एक्सेस टू समवन, ये इतना ही एक्सेस आप दे सकते हो. Guest invite user. I invited you guys, right? So if I did not have this access, global admin में ये सब आ गया. ठीक है, इसलिए मुझको अलग से ये एक्सेस मेरे पास नहीं था. But let's say that I want this admin user. I am creating it only to create another user. I am planning to acquire a company. My organization is planning to acquire a company, and they think there are 1,000 or 500 users जिनको हमको merge नहीं करना है, but I'll have to invite them, and this number will keep increasing. ऐसे 2-4 कंपनीज और एक्वायर करने का प्लान है किसी जायंट कंपनी का, एंड दे विल कीप डूइंग इट. सो दे हैव अ रोल जहां पर सिर्फ इनविटेशन भेजने के लिए इनको एक रिसोर्स चाहिए. तो उसको दे कुड गिव दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ एक्सेस, गेस्ट इनवाइटर. सो इस तरह के एक्सेसेस आप दे सकते हो. इज इट क्लियर गाइस? एंड दीज ऑल आर जस्ट एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी रोल्स. इसीलिए मैंने कलर कोडिंग रखा है इसको ऐसे कि थोड़ी सी अंडरस्टैंडिंग आपकी क्लियर हो इसमें. Yes guys, any questions till now? Azure Active Directory तक किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन है? So I hope there are no questions as of now, right? Anyone guys, before I move to subscription, any questions you have?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. So let me ask few questions to you guys. 6 minute है, कुछ questions पूछ लेते हैं, and then once we come back, we'll start discussing subscription, resource group and resources. And these three things are interlinked. These three यहाँ पर आने के बाद easy हो जाता है, थोड़े से interlinked है. बट यहाँ पर एक अलग कंफ्यूजन है, वी विल सी दैट. यहाँ पर रोल्स भी अलग है, वी विल सी दैट. सो दिस इज नोन, ये जो है यहाँ पर हम एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी वाला ये है, दीज आर कॉल्ड रोल्स, Azure Active Directory roles. ठीक है. I hope I don't have to write it down. ये है, okay, I've already written it. Azure Active Directory roles. So now let me ask you a question. Just because someone, this Azure, I have given this user global admin ka access, and I'm logged in here with this user. Okay, now I have global admin access. I'll have to log in, log out first, maybe. Impact करने के लिए. So I should be able to see a new user creation. Let me log out from this user and log in again. Refresh हो जाएगा वो. And this time I will log in with which password? Will I be able to use the same password which was given to me first time?
No.
No. Why? Because I had
password.
to change my password. So जो भी password मैंने change किया है, I will have to log in with that password. Will I be able to create a virtual machine now?
No.
Right. You see, I still do not have any access on any of the subscription. So I am the most powerful user now on Azure Active Directory. I am a global administrator, and if you guys see, ये new user creation का जो है यहाँ पर grayed out था, ये अभी आ गया. I can create a new user now. I can delete a user now. I do not have any ID as of now which could be deleted. Maybe we can delete this one. You see, I have an option to delete it now. If I want to restore a deleted user, I have that option too. I can come here and either delete it permanently or restore the user. So as of now, I want to delete it. But are you guys getting it? That this user has the complete admin access on Azure Active Directory as of now. But that does not mean that this user will have access to any of the subscription. Maybe I have plenty of subscriptions. I have 4 subscriptions. This Tsoft Info Solution, and this is the global admin on Azure Active Directory. That does not mean he will have access to subscription. Clear है guys यहाँ तक?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone has any questions? Please ask now. So these are called Active Directory roles. और जो subscription पे है, those are called. We will go with this color. Green में पढ़ने में थोड़ा सा difficult होगा. So at the subscription level, we have IAM, which is Identity Access Management. And who gets this access? ये उसको access मिलेगा जिसका subscription पे access होगा. A global administrator cannot handle IAM. IAM is Identity Access Management. IAM कहाँ पर होगा? IAM will be here at subscription level. We will have IAM here at resource group level, and we will have IAM here at all resource level. ये सारे resources पे भी जो है IAM होता है, and इसकी functionality exactly same होगी. जो यहाँ पर मतलब होगा किसी IAM के रोल का, वो यहाँ पर भी मतलब होगा. ठीक है, I will explain it to you. So कौन कौन से roles है IAM में? Let's see that. So for this I will have to go to my main user because उस user के पास ही access है फिलहाल. So I go to subscription. This subscription I'm talking about. So here it is, access control IAM. I'll write it down here if you want. Access control IAM. इसमें roles कौन कौन से हैं? One is owner. Guys, is it readable this color, or do you want me to change it?
Yes, sir. Very good.
Okay. This is about to finish. Let me stop it and I'll start it immediately.